Come through, Queen. I wanna see ya. Come through, Queen.
Hi, everyone. It's Dan.
And Brendan.
And this is Come Through, Queen. Hi, Brendan.
Hi, Dan.
Well. We're about to close out 3 weeks of
No
Housewives.
Sure.
And we're coming to a close with the drop of, from what I'm seeing online, this is the first 90 seconds of the RHONJ premiere.
Right.
Which is essentially a flash forward to a pivotal moment later in the season.
Yeah. And it reads like a trailer in a way that you don't really realize. It's not like we're watching the first 7 minutes, having to catch up with the Fudas, which I also did that.
I did that too. And I was not loving our first solo scene being Foodian.
I know. I feel like this little bit that we got from RHONJ, Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Yes. Oh, yeah. For those unfamiliar.
It proved why and how this cast and this franchise is a juggernaut.
So if there needs to be just one Housewives City airing, this could be the one.
They can handle it.
They can handle it.
I mean, Jersey strong, bitches.
Jersey strong. What's his name? He wasn't lying.
What's his name?
The
Chris Christie?
Yeah, Chris Christie. He wasn't lying.
Shut up. Don't invoke his name.
Okay. Let's really talk about this.
Okay.
We are at an iconic destination that I feel like we haven't been there recently.
I feel like, with Rails, even when we're there, it's not always we're not always showcasing Rails, but we're
not even sure we're there sometimes.
Exactly. That's what I meant to say.
It is kind of akin to Disney World. It feels like there's maybe different rooms, different experiences.
Well, we know that about it. Yeah.
Oh, we do know that. Yeah. And we've been doing this podcast for 8 years. I would say for 8 of those years, we've been talking about going to Rails.
And this might be the year.
This might be it.
2024.
In order to see the space where all this transpires.
First Come Through Queen live show is at Rails.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? Glasses will be broken.
Yeah, of course. So
we have a matriarch.
We are playing up Rails, though. We are showing
the railroad.
The railroad, which is
the titular road.
If you don't remember Jacqueline Laurito running.
Laurito?
Oh my God, Lorita.
Show some respect.
Running barefoot across that railroad.
The train tracks.
Yeah. Ugh.
Okay. So we have a mother.
I think she might be the mother of the entire Bravo cinematic universe. If you were to pick a mother,
Dolores Catania.
Yeah. Some people would say LVP.
What?
Some people would say Patricia Altschul.
Get out of here.
Some people would say, I don't know.
Oh, I don't even want to know what you're thinking.
Yeah, but
if it's not Dolores.
It's Dolores.
Has a woman ever looked so beautiful?
Of course not.
This is post-fight, too.
I know. Sitting there in her
pretty
chipette bun.
A messy top knot. Just a sexy moment.
This was just months before she and I met.
Oh.
Yeah.
You've met her?
Yeah, I mean, and when I met her, she was giving mother.
Okay. And she is being interviewed. Describe the sit down in one word. Horrible.
Yeah.
I gotta give them credit. Sometimes they get off their butts and they edit something beautiful. And this was cinematography. This was editing.
I don't think sometimes they do it often, actually.
I know, but I just feel like we haven't had something like this in a minute.
Yeah, usually they want us to play Mario with like with like Giselle and like do different like gaming things or stuff that's not like
I don't know what you're talking about, but
I'm talking about like for example, Vanderpump Rules, they want us to like go like do 80s or like, in like past years, like in Potomac they want us to have like a spooky scary like
okay.
haunted house like
okay,
like that type of thing. This is like editing in like a cinematic
pure
way. This could win an Oscar.
Yeah, this is like a movie, a film A.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're saying now. Okay. We will hug again.
Shut up.
I mean, central to all of this is like Teresa and Jen Aiden kind of being like flotsam and jetsam me to Jackie Goldschneider being like, we will show you what true friends are.
Yeah, but it's also Teresa and Jen Aiden, like
maybe on the outs too.
Maybe on the outs because Jen Aiden's over with Zia Melez.
See, that's why I'm like, this is what we've been waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
A mixing and matching of things we've never expected.
I know. Like, we've heard the news about, like, Jackie being friends with Teresa.
Yeah.
We've heard the news about other things, but we haven't really heard, like, you don't really know until you know.
Mm. And now we know.
Now we know.
Even Jen Fessler's in the mix.
Well, she is the mix at the beginning of the trailer.
Oh, yeah. She is. We're celebrating her birthday.
Yeah. She's also the one asking questions.
Well, yeah. I mean, she's a podcast host, so you have to ask questions.
I think that Jen Fessler is who Margaret thinks she is.
Oh. And oh? Well, you know, Margaret's been around for a long time now. And Jen Fessler's like the fresh face on the block.
Yeah. Okay. Are we going Little Mermaid still? Because there is more. Because Margaret could be. We don't really see a ton from Margaret in this like little bit.
Who is she fighting with when it's not with Dolores? When it's not at the restaurant, there's like on a couch or something
at Margaret's home.
Yeah,
and Dolores uses the C word. But you never know. Like, you think that she's calling Margaret a C. I know, not in a positive way, but like they are besties.
I know.
So,
this could be an editing trick.
Yeah. I think that Margaret wants to be the puppet master. I think she, in the Little Mermaid of it all, is the Ursula.
Maybe she's the puppet and everybody's the master.
Sure.
That is one of the greatest moments.
One of the greats. I think she wants to be the puppet master, but I think that she's gonna lose, like much like Ursula did in the Little Mermaid.
When she turns sexy like that. When she gets on the land and marries Prince Edward? Eric. It's Prince Edward. Jesus Christ.
No, but you know what I mean?
Okay.
I feel like Margaret's behind all of this. I feel like Margaret's behind the disaster at Rails. I mean, Dolores is sitting in the middle of the table, much like our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ did.
Well, you know, we have been referencing quite often how Margaret calls Jackie Judas Goldschneider.
Yeah.
But we like saying that Jackie Judas Goldschneider. She's taking Teresa's name.
She would.
And like another question I have is like, what are the implications of like Alexia and Todd splitting with like Teresa's like her tethered, you know? Like, it's like when something's happening there, like there's got to be like an equal cause and reaction up here in New Jersey.
I don't think that's going to happen here yet.
Well, Love appears to be still winning. I know they just celebrated Louis' 50th birthday recently.
I know. God, now that I'm like nearing 40, the fact that like people like this are 50, I'm like,
oh,
I'm almost there.
Yeah, you're like a peer. I love that you turning 37.
I'm 36 still. I think, right?
You're a peer. No, you're 40. You're a peer of Louis Ruella's 50-year-old man.
Yeah.
Two peers.
And once I'm 50, I might as well be 60.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah. No. I'm sorry if you're not excited for this.
I know. What is wrong with you? I'm so excited. Jersey has always been great.
Yeah, the one quote unquote bad season, like season 6.
Yeah.
I feel like if we went back and rewatched that,
Maybe we should do a special series of going back and rewatching season whatever that is.
I feel like we would be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, but sometimes you need a palate cleanser like that to remind you of what
Yeah.
you have.
Also, like, the thing I like about Jersey is, like, we're still dealing with, like, we're real.
We're real. It does feel more real.
We're, like, still in Jersey.
I mean, it feels like not that there's not glam squads, because the squads are squatting, but
Because Dolores looks glam.
because Dolores looks glam, but it feels more like this is what they would look like if they were going to like a friend's 50th birthday party.
Yeah.
Like it's like glam, but like Jersey glam.
Jersey's famous for hair, makeup, and everything.
Hair, body, face.
Yeah.
Right? Is that the name of the
Yeah,
song?
thank you, Allie Main.
I don't know.
Where was Allie Main supposed to be from? Like, California?
But like her family was all like very Jersey themselves.
Yeah. Her dad was like, get out of here.
Okay, what's the matter with you? Okay. Anything else about Jersey? I mean, that's this weekend. I can't wait. I will be seated live.
What time does it air? 8?
I don't know.
Is it 8 and then Martha's 9?
Oh, what a nice doubleheader. Like that I like.
Who's on Watch Weapons Live? That would be a fun
Oh,
pairing.
that would be a fun pairing.
Ooh, I hope like Dolores and Jordan.
I don't know.
Or Dolores and Amir.
Quick side note. I mean, we're going to be talking about Martha, but like they also filmed their reunion this week.
I know.
That's going to be interesting. They better have listened to me. I don't have like eyes or ears on what the situation was, but it felt like they were done early.
Okay.
So I don't know what that means.
Do you know if we did it on like an actual set?
That's what I mean. They better have listened to me
Okay.
and done it on an actual set.
Okay.
I did see like one of those cards that Andy uses to ask the questions with like a special SummerHouse Martha's Vineyard reunion art
Oh,
on
so
it.
somebody went to Kinko's.
So someone went to Kinko's at the very least.
Exactly.
Hopefully someone went on a set as well.
Great. Okay, so we're going to move on from Jersey.
Wow.
Jacqueline Larita, I'm sorry for calling you Jacqueline Laredo earlier in the segment. But
A
let's
solid
move on.
12 minutes on Jersey.
Okay, we're going to move on to some Vanderpump news, or Vanderpump Rules news, or rumors.
I believe.
So this is from Deadline, which is Bible, actually. Andy Cohen is reacting to the news that Vanderpump Rules is taking an extended hiatus and not going into production this summer as it had done the past decade. Although Cohen is not a producer of the Bravo reality series, he's the face of the network, being the host of Watch What Happens Live and an executive producer of the Real Housewives franchise. On his Sirius XM show, which I listen to every day, Cohen said putting Vanderpump Rules on pause is a good idea. Quote, yeah, we used to do this all the time with Housewives, Cohen said to John Hill on Andy Cohen Live. We would say, you know what? Let's put cameras down, for 4 or 5 months and then come back to them. And they will have lived, life. Things will be different.
I think they need to do this.
For sure. Now that, also, LA is the same all the time.
Yeah, who even cares? But also in LA, in the summer, isn't it not even summer? And then it's summer later or something?
It's randomly summer in January. I remember it being really hot in January when I was there.
Okay.
Okay, so put them down until September.
Yeah, wake me up when September ends.
And then if you still want to do Pride adjacent stuff, there is the Halloween thing that happens in WeHo.
Have they even done Sir Pride stuff?
No, not in years. But
so cares.
They used to. That used to be a big crux.
Okay.
But now do WeHo Halloween.
Do
Halloween's
WeHo
more fun
Halloween?
anyways. Yeah.
No, I think we just gotta see what's going on.
Also, this is one of those things. I hate that we as, no offense to Dorinda, I hate that we as a Bravo watchership keep on using the word pause because everyone's oh, they're taking a pause, meaning they're Dorinda off the show forever. And now
She sullied the word pause.
Yeah. And now we're literally just pausing production for a couple months so that people can live their lives. I think Ariana was on Watch What Happens Live this
With Katie. I didn't
week
watch.
with Katie, and she was talking about like it would have been maybe a little more interesting if they were able to pause a little bit between the reunion of last season and when they brought cameras up, because it was only like a couple months between the two.
Yeah.
And nobody had lived a life.
You know, I'm not hating that though, that happened. Like I don't know.
This season it was fine because
Yeah.
we needed to like rev up, but like let's come on.
The next season we do need.
Yeah.
We just need to figure out like where we going.
I mean, something about her needs to be open for like a few months before we get cameras back in.
Sure.
And they announced on Watch What Happens Live that it's opening May 22nd.
Wow. Are you gonna go get a sandwich?
Of course. Next time I'm in LA.
Do you have LA on the calendar or no?
No, but sometimes they're always sending me there.
Okay.
I feel like this past year, like I've been in LA a lot.
Wow. Is that your future? No.
Could you imagine?
Ugh. Makes you feel sick. Okay. Speaking of productions,
We got a tip to the Come Through Queen tip line.
actual boots on the ground information,
Sneakers on
sneakers.
on the cement.
I don't know. Maybe Tall Pale was wearing a boot.
It's summer. He's wearing a sneaker.
You're really like Russian summer. Okay. Tall Pale, Aaron,
Who's been
on-
a co-host.
co-host to the show, guest co-host of the show, reported live from Pasta Louise in Brooklyn, Park Slope, baby. Jenna Lyons and Cy filming a lunch.
Yeah, on a random weekday afternoon.
Of course, during work hours.
Yeah, of course.
Pasta Louise is a spot.
It's the dolls in Park Slope talk about it. Like if you're on like the Facebook groups or like any of like whatever.
Well, they talk about how like it used to be good and now it's not good anymore or something.
Yeah.
I've been, you've not been?
No.
Yeah.
Because I moved and it used to be good.
Okay, yeah. Well, the gag is you go there. There's one shape of pasta available. And you pick your sauce. And it's just like, that's the shape today, baby. Like, you don't like it? Go home.
Okay.
That's really chic, I would
so
say.
who's Louise?
Louise is a good woman, and she's the one who decides the shape each day. No, I
Sure.
don't think she's the one.
So it also is a return for Jenna Lyons to her old neighborhood. Because her old townhouse is famously a 7-minute walk from my home.
Yeah. It's too bad that like she betrayed us here in Brooklyn.
This signals to me that she's
Considering?
well, remember her old townhouse is back on the market.
Yeah, so she could get it back.
Yes.
Get him back. Where does the girlfriend live? In Brooklyn or in Manhattan? Probably Manhattan too.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, we know New York is filming, but we know nothing.
I know, but like to see them in our neighborhood.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? I was ready to hop in the car.
If I had not been in my office in Manhattan,
If you were WFH, you would have ran?
I would have ran.
Wow.
Totally. Just to do a walk by, why not?
Yeah. Okay, so we know they are filming.
Should we get to our shows?
We should get to our shows.
Okay, so
To Martha.
thank you, Martha. To Martha.
Carrying the Sunday torch right now until Jersey comes back.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we are in a space where we are inviting old friends back.
It's like all we've been talking about really for a chunk of the season.
Yeah, so we're inviting old friends back, but we're also inviting
Lovers
and partners in. So we're doing like a couples night or couples weekend, I guess.
Yeah, it's maybe a weekend, yeah. I feel like headline news is Amir's girlfriend, Natalie, is not down to clown.
Yes.
And no one's down to clown with her.
Well, yes. I'm not going to go in too far to defend Natalie too much, but I will say she was given an icy reception.
Yes, she was. But I do also think like she might have given ice in the past to people.
Yes, there's that. But also, Amir, I hate to say this here, but Amir was being kind of the bad guy in the situation.
Oh.
Because he had like this little explanation being like, well, Natalie knows that like every girl here was into me
Or I was into
or I
them.
was into them. And like if that's the headline that you're giving to your girlfriend
Yeah.
who's coming into this house where she also has to be on TV.
Yeah, that's bad.
And then she comes in, she's greeted by a couple people, but then Amir keeps on going up to the women and being like, "Oh, Natalie's in this room. Do you want
Go
to come
to
meet
this
her?"
room, yeah.
And they all just keep on like walking away or like being like, "Oh, we'll be out soon," kind of thing.
That was so bad.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. It's not perfect, but it's weird.
Okay. So we got Natalie. Then we also got Preston's boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
No longer living on the phone. He is in our screen.
And they're like about to move in together.
They're about to move in together.
And is Preston moving from New York to DC at this point, or has he always been in DC?
Oh, I don't know. I think he was in DC.
Okay, for some reason, like last season, I maybe like thought he was in New York, but like maybe I'm wrong.
Because I feel like, doesn't he like talk about them meeting?
They met on Jacked,
Yeah.
which is an app.
But like that's an app where you have to be like local, I think.
Yeah, or I don't know. Who knows with these apps? I know on Scruff you can be like
You can pretend you're somewhere else?
No, but like if you log into like Scruff, it's like first screen is like global.
Oh,
Yeah.
very international.
Yeah. No, but who knows? Who knows with these apps? But also like I think it's fun representation for like meeting on like a hookup app.
Oh yeah, sure. I feel like we've seen that somewhere. I don't know.
On what show?
I
Like
don't
there's
know.
no gay people.
Oh
on
yeah,
these
there's no gay
shows.
people on shows. What am I talking about? Okay. So we got those two. Do we have any? Oh, Nick's girlfriend is coming tomorrow. I
Coming
think
tomorrow, and then Bria's man, the German, is here.
Okay. Question about him. This outfit that he's coming in.
Flamingo.
Yeah, but my big question, it felt like the top and the bottom were once the same color, and then like maybe he only was wearing the top and washed it like 20 times, and it was like annoyingly enough two different colors now.
Oh, interesting. I didn't notice that, but I did notice Nick had a problem with the look coming in.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it was crazy in and of itself, but like I think it was like crazy and fun. What was bothering me is that it looked like a mismatch of like two different colors. But why would a company sell something that's like so close to being the same color?
I don't know.
It
That
was
did
just-
not bug me.
It was just really bothering me. Yeah.
I kind of liked the easy breezy coming in the PJs look.
He is just like a nut,
Yeah.
and I think does well on the show.
Yeah, I also think he had like a thing because later when they were upstairs, like they were all having like rosé on like that little like roof deck area.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, my skin is pink because I've got a sunburn. I'm wearing pink and I'm drinking pink." So I think he had like a pink thing going on, which is why he came in with the flamingos too. Maybe.
Okay. He was also, I don't remember exactly what, but there was like one moment where he's like wanting to start drama.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like made for TV.
Yeah, of course. We are planning on going to this little like rooftop thing that Preston's putting together at this like really nice place.
Yeah.
In Oak Bluff.
I thought he did a good job. I felt bad that it felt like he and the boyfriend were there for an hour by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And like everyone felt like they came late.
But I think that's fine. You want to like set up, like get the easy breezy, like whatever, lay of the land.
Oh, and he agrees that on day of to allow Phil to come.
yeah. And then the surprise is Mariah's with Phil.
So Bria's calling Phil on the phone. I mean, like, I am excited to announce that you can come to the party. And like, I know you've been like hanging out with Mariah. Like, you can let her know that she can come too. And then it's like, boop.
I will say, like, I did appreciate like Bria playing it cool. And then who did she call in to like be support on the FaceTime with her? 'Cause whoever was nearby, I forget who it was. She like called in and was like, ah.
Yeah, I don't remember who was there. Yeah, but you gotta give Bria credit. At the event, she was able to squash the beef.
Yeah. And then Phil kind of wasn't able to squash the beef.
Oh my god, it was bad. I felt like bad for him because like I felt like he had like he was never gonna win, but also like that's fine too.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could tell that, like, especially Amir and Nick were, like, not having it.
Yeah, they were like,
from
okay,
base level.
say what you want to say, but like we don't give a shit.
Yeah, and then, like, Nick had his little monologue about, like, the book report. Like,
Yeah,
you had
yeah.
a year to do this book report, and you didn't read or do
Yeah,
the report.
Nick was like on a tear this episode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, later Nick, everyone was like, "Oh, Nick looks hot," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I agree." So we go back after this party.
We're doing a lot in one day.
I know. So we're going from this like cocktail party into the Freaknik party, which, so being from Atlanta,
You know.
well, I know I'm a white person from the Atlanta area, so I don't know,
Yeah.
but I know as somebody who was around as Freaknik was coming
thing.
into fruition / it started, like they said, they gave a little history lesson of it starting in 1983, I think.
Oh my god. When I was born.
Oh yeah, you and Freaknik. Basically as an answer for people who went to the historically black colleges in the Atlanta area that couldn't get away for spring break to have something to do. So it grew from like this like smaller thing. And then once I was like, it ended in 1999, but like, so I probably remember it from like 96 to 99, it being like this like big, huge thing in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That like, as an observer, I was like, oh my God, this is like major. It was like after Olympics happened in Atlanta. So Atlanta was actually the doll back then.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know this for a fact, but I feel like after the Olympics in Atlanta, probably more people started coming down for Freaknik.
Yeah.
And then after 1999, they stopped it.
Yeah.
Like the police, of course, fucking got involved, and
Yeah.
like the mayor's office, losers, and stopped it. But yeah, so it was interesting to see like this Freaknik party, and I feel like they didn't explain the whole breadth of it. They only explained the beginning.
Yeah, I mean they got a good thing going on the show, which I think obviously for any good 2-screen TV watcher, like you can pull it up on Wikipedia like I was doing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I loved everyone's looks. Everyone was having fun.
The party, like on the breadth of the show, like actually was kind of short compared to like what I wanted to see. Because I feel like we were like leaving the Freaknik party and then we were all separating. We were like in the hot tub with Amir and Natalie.
Oh my God. When they asked what's next? What's the future? And when she gives her LinkedIn response,
Oh,
and she went first, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she went first, and then for him to say like engagement after her LinkedIn response was a shocker.
LinkedIn, a space that like I've never been a LinkedIn girl, but I downloaded it on my phone like to post something about my career like a week and a half ago, and then now I'm like looking at it and I'm like, this is how y'all engage on this platform. That is wild to me.
I know, I haven't like logged in years. I couldn't tell you. Yeah, so we got that. And then like once again, like Summer engages in like an argument that like I can't follow.
Me neither. So it was her versus Bria, and Bria's basically like, I don't know what we're like fighting about, yada yada.
We do get like behind the scenes, I think like the stuff is going on with Bria and Bria's grandmother. Oh no,
No,
stuff's going on with Summer and Summer's grandmother.
Yeah.
But like Summer's not telling anybody about this.
we just get like side moments, like before the cocktail party, she's on the phone with her Nana, and then like during the cocktail party, she gets a text from her Nana.
So, and I think that's like throwing her off kilter.
Yeah,
but, like,
because
how's anyone supposed to know?
Yeah, exactly. But it also goes into like later, like the heaviness of like her relationships in the house. And I guess she also has this heavy thing that she's
Yeah.
not telling people about. But yeah, like...
Okay. So when it devolves.
So is it Bria, Shanice, and
Noelle.
are all in Shanice's room? Shanice is laid up because she's got her like foot.
Shanice is like the Paige Sierra Batula of Martha.
Well,
she's living in the bed.
But also because she's got a foot.
I know,
foot
but
injury.
sometimes things happen for a reason.
They still, even when she has her foot injury, they still always edit her like opening one of those like bottles of the Bon Jovi wine.
Good. Yeah, summer water.
Yeah.
Good.
Hampton's water.
Hampton's water, whatever. Okay. So like the girls are girling. These are the good time girls.
Yeah.
Summer walks in and is like, I am upset because I want to be friends with you guys. And they're like, you have friends. Like Jordan, Jordan and Preston.
First, Bria's like, you just yelled at me. And Summer's like, I apologize 7 times. No, but then we do find out, like, to your point, like, she is, I guess, hurting because her 2 closest friends are Preston and Jordan. And Preston's dad just died.
And Jordan's just going through a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and also, like, Preston's dad just died. Also, his, like, partner's here, so, like, she maybe, like, feels disconnected in that sense.
Yeah.
And then Jordan's hair stuff. And then just, like... I don't know.
When she's like running around, Noelle is chasing her.
Because Noelle's new.
I gotta say, I love Noelle.
Me too. The first Noelle.
It is truly the first Noelle. And you gotta give her credit because she came on a show as the sole new person. And that doesn't set you up for success.
But when you're a Georgia peach with a personality, you can do that.
Like, I think like a comparative point is like, okay, Paige and Hannah came on together and they were able to like make a big impact because they came in as a little duo. West and what's his face?
Jesse
Solomon.
Nope, but West came in alone.
I know, but like two new people added to the show at the same time.
No, I know, but I mean, I would actually compare Noelle and West because I feel like West is getting so much credit for coming in alone and making an impact that first weekend, and I feel like Noelle should maybe get some of that glory.
Well, I'm saying she's even better because she has no one else new is on the show with her. This year.
Sure, yeah.
So yeah, I'm just like loving her. When Bravo posted that like little. Like, pick 4 friends to go to brunch with. Like, she was my pick for that row.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You won that one.
I won.
But very funny. As Summer is running around the house with Noelle at her heels, first Jordan gets under her blanket and goes to hide in a cabinet. And then, who else is left? Is it Shanice and Bria are left in the other room? And they start hiding, too. Everyone's hiding from Summer.
Oh yeah, like someone's like closing, like
they're
trying
closing
to close the doors.
It's like a tornado's coming, and everyone's like battening down the hatches.
Yeah. Tornado preparedness. Wow. Yeah, love Martha.
It's a to be continued, so we don't even know what happens next week.
Okay. So to pump. Thank God, Joseph has returned.
Okay.
That's headline news for me.
I will say that too. I think
I was worried we were going to see her again until the reunion.
Agreed. So in a world where we're dealing with like the freshness of Martha and the freshness of TheValley, I'm looking at Vanderpump and I'm like, oh, this is kind of stale. And then when Joseph comes around, I'm like, fresh to death.
She saved Vanderpump Rules. She really did.
Yeah, next season... Joseph rules.
Okay. We're dipping and doing. I love how oh my God, this was like headline news also. Kyle Chan mediator. It should actually be like Kyle Chan rules. Cause like he was kind of giving like Lisa Vanderpump like, oh, we just need to come together. Like he was essentially saying that.
I will say Kyle Chan Rules is not an original thought.
Oh.
Because Gemma to the show, German to the show.
Oh, okay, yeah, German to the
texted me at 8:00 this morning saying Kyle Chan is the new LVP. Chan Rules.
Yes. It's time. Time to pass the torch.
And like he is successful.
I mean, he's the reason we're going on a cast trip, much like the reason would be Lisa quite often.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got to go see like Lisa open this.
Well, we went to Tahoe for Lisa.
For Lisa.
For Lisa. For Kyle.
For Kyle. Now we're going to San Fran for Kyle.
Yeah. So we're in his store. We're meeting the people that are going to be a part of this performance. And one of them is this like tall redheaded guy named Pete, P-E-E-T. And I was like, I recognize
Like Pete's Coffee?
I think so. But it's not his coffee.
Heir to the coffee line?
So I recognize him and I realized he became TikTok famous during COVID.
Haven't they all?
Specifically doing content about how his mom is a little person and he's a very tall person.
Oh, interesting.
You can look him up. His name's Pete. He has red hair.
Yeah, you sent the link to me, but I didn't click through.
Yeah, but like I remember him from like 2020. I'm like, oh, now you're on Vanderpump Rules hugging Sheena?
Okay. Sheena Marie. Davies Shay. She is like truly so deeply unwell.
I will say, she was actually defending Ariana this episode, later in the episode.
Okay, so we had to travel cities.
Yeah, but like her obsession with Sandoval, what is happening?
So the girls online say a lot of it is because he gave the Shay Davies money when they were broke.
Oh.
So like she feels indebted to him.
Why is he always giving money to people?
But like Sheena's been on the show as long as Sandoval, and like
Longer.
What do you mean?
I mean, she was the first scene.
Oh, relax. Okay.
She's the reason for the show.
I know.
Hello.
But I'm just saying, like they were both on season 1, main cast. So
know.
like it's not like Sandoval has like senior tenure with like a larger paycheck or something. Like conceivably.
So who knows? Because hello, the wage gap.
Oh yeah, sure. Okay. So I just like wonder like how does Sandoval have all this extra money, especially like all the money he dumped into Schwartz and Sandy's and refinancing homes and compared to Sheena Shay?
Do you have an answer? Or no, you.
I don't. I'm just like hypothesizing.
Huh.
But anywho, okay. So they make up. Are they like on a FaceTime together, and then like Lala and Ariana are in the other end or something?
It's Lala and Katie.
Lala and
but
Katie,
Katie's
yes.
like Katie's
making
not,
faces.
Yeah, Katie Lala's like I'm gonna call Sandoval right
tell
now.
him he's not invited.
Tell him he's not invited. It's my birthday. And Katie's like, put it on speaker, but she puts it on FaceTime.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
Katie's in the background.
Yeah.
But Katie's like off camera, like we all should be.
Okay. So we got that. We got. I know it's not the first time we are meeting her, but it felt like it because it's been a minute. Sandoval's mom coming to like a Sandoval on the Supremes or whatever.
The fact that her name is also Terry.
Oh my God.
I mean, she's no Terry Maloney, no offense.
She's no Terry Maloney main cast. Where is Terry this season?
I don't know.
Let's get her on the horn.
This theater where they're performing, I was just in like months ago.
Oh, I love like this narrative of like, oh, like they were hating me, but now they're loving me. It's like,
of the fans.
Yeah, it's like, well, everyone going is just like going for the spectacle.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are we talking about here?
Also, like, I cannot believe people are like still going to these shows.
Oh, I could believe.
No, I mean I can believe, but it's like I could never see myself, and I've gone to a lot of shitty like Housewives and like Vanderpump and whatever shit.
I gotta imagine the tickets are not breaking the bank.
Sure.
It's not like a Countess Lou ticket price.
Which, have I paid for that?
When we went to the Christmas, we were a guest.
Was comped.
Yeah. We were a guest of a
Haven't
friend.
I seen her multiple times? I can't remember. Oh, I saw her at BravoCon. That was
Oh,
also
okay. That's something different. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we have that. Then we have Lala's birthday party featuring Logan O and Heather McDonald.
Yes.
Logan O is in the background of every scene this season of both Vanderpump Rules and TheValley.
I know, but we prefer Logan Yes, who's Ariana's friend.
Not to be confused with Heather Straight and Heather Gay.
But isn't that funny? I prefer Logan Yes.
You do prefer Logan Yes to Logan O.
He's got like a little pixie face. We're also at Bathtub Gin, which is, there used to be one in New York. It was like a speakeasy. Did you ever go to it?
No.
It was like on 8th Avenue or 9th Avenue in like Chelsea.
Sure.
It was a straight person horror show.
Okay.
And this birthday is a straight person horror show too.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta say, Lala was serving C with her birthday look. Not to be a Lala super fan this season, but she wasn't really like doing much for me, the super fan, over this episode. There were prior episodes this year that I've been having fun with her.
Yeah, she doesn't deserve any of that.
Ariana and the boyfriend.
He's serving C. When he takes his hair down,
Oh, that's not for hair down to the butt is not for me.
it's for me.
It's like it's gonna hit the crack.
So, like hair hitting other hair, who cares?
No, it's not for me. He's not really like charming me.
Yeah, Dan only likes a blonde man.
All he's got to do is dye his hair blonde, and then we're solved.
Going up to San Francisco, I wish Joe was on the plane with us.
Ooh, Joe should be there from start to finish.
I wish we got to watch Joe on that boat.
Oh, but we forgot about Joe outside of the Tom Sandoval show. Those two, that was electric.
It's electric, but like it's also, you can get electrocuted.
It was electrocution.
Like him saying, "We might be married in 8 years."
Oh.
Her glomming onto it.
Her eyes lit up.
And then her saying it back to him and him being like, "I never said that."
But I also like love her like little, like the way she like moves her body, like her arms like dangling all over the place. Like I just like, I love it.
I like the way you move.
I do like the way she moves.
Me too. I honestly
To Joseph.
And I know that she's not gonna get another season, unfortunately.
Why?
Because
She's at the reunion.
I know, but because we like her,
Oh,
she's done.
okay.
Though I will say, Christina Kelly never got a reunion.
Yeah, she never had a reunion.
Even, isn't that funny? Christina Kelly got a photo shoot last year, but was not invited to the reunion, and then Joe didn't get a photo shoot.
I know. Well, because they heard us cheering for Joe, and they were like, "We got to get her on." Joe on Watch What Happens Live before the season's up. Please, on my friggin' knees, Andy, stop hurting us.
They need to do Joe before they were Vanderpump Housewives
Okay,
or Vanderpump Rules cast.
So it was like, yeah, slow down. And then finally we bring it back with Joseph.
Don't you want to like know everything?
I do want to know.
Where do you think she's from? If you were to guess,
I do feel like she's a hometown girl.
Like she's from California.
Yeah.
Oh, I would guess like Oregon.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. West Coast, one way or the other.
Yeah, West Coast people are built differently. They're built like Joe.
They were born this way. Okay. Oh, okay. So here's the other thing with Ariana's boyfriend. It's like, okay, I'm glad you're coming, but like, why are you like hiding and not going to events?
And he's going to dinner with that like one guy who's in every single
Brad.
He's in every photo. Somehow he went to every performance of Chicago there ever was.
I don't get like, well, maybe he's like a publicist or manager or something for Ariana. It's like friendship and business. But some of these people, like Logan, no, I just don't get like.
No, Logan, yes.
Well, Logan, yes, works at a Vanderpump establishment.
Okay.
Logan, no, I don't get like, how do you always have the time to go to all these things?
At least Logan, no, stays local in LA. Logan, yes, seems to go to. Okay, so it's Brad, and Logan, yes, are always at. Anytime a Bravo celebrity went to Chicago, there would be a photo that was Ariana, Bravo celebrity, Brad, and Logan, yes.
Okay.
And I'm a Logan Yes stan.
Why are you like such a bone for Logan Yes?
I don't, because he's the one who broke the penis flute.
Oh my god! Wow, that was really like it was like throwing the first brick, breaking the penis flute. Like those are the two moments in LGBTQ history.
Exactly. The two.
I gotta say, as a person who reported back on this very podcast about San Francisco, it is kind of a gag. It's like, wait, it's just like always a little cold here?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But like I think I could like live that way. But
I know. I was like walking here the most beautiful day in New York City, and Dan was like, "Arr."
No, I was just doing that as a bit. I was doing that as a bit. Relax. Actually, like today was akin to like a San Francisco weather, I would say.
No, because it was sunny here today.
Oh yeah, the sun doesn't come out tomorrow.
No, it doesn't come out tomorrow or the next day or the next day. They were staying in like the very touristy area.
So when I did go to San Francisco, we ran all the way around and we stopped there. And I was like, oh, I know this place. Yeah.
Yeah, I like seeing the sea lions.
Yeah.
The boat was fun.
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Ariana had like some funny moments this episode for me. The way she was like, I'm not afraid of this. I'm not afraid of this. I'm afraid of waves. I'm like, how specific? The waves are what you're afraid of.
But that's actually a good thing to be afraid of. Because those waves can topple you and then suck you in.
I mean, it was very like Cartagena,
Yeah.
this little boat ride.
Yeah. So then they got off the boat. Then they went and got ready for... We're doing a flapper night or a 1920s
Oh,
night.
my God.
Okay. I do hate this theme, but I do love that they made these fucking losers walk through a crowded restaurant to get to their party area dressed like this.
Well, okay. I have many things to say about this. Number one, the flapper theme on like Housewives always feels like a little half-assed. Like these dolls went for it.
And they made it, I hate to say, Vanderpump Rules for once in their lives made something like a little chicer.
Yeah. Everyone like turned it out.
Because Katie has now learned how to dress.
It's crazy. Like Katie's never been more beautiful.
She found her lane.
Yeah.
She found her lane. She's chic.
James is a little newsboy.
Yeah.
I gotta say, that was like so funny because like he obviously didn't look good, but it was just like funny and fun.
Also, like, I don't think he realized what he was presenting. Like, I don't think he meant to look like he was a 12-year-old selling some papes.
Yeah.
I will say him pointing out that Ariana and Tom were wearing the same shoes was funny.
That was funny.
And like that was the one moment where Ariana actually like acknowledged Sandoval.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh no, these are like Steve Madden, not Doc Martin."
Yeah. Brock turned it out. And it has recently come to my attention. How have I not noticed like Brock is like missing a finger and like another finger is partially missing? Now that like I'm realizing it, I feel like he might have even mentioned on the show, but I like completely forgot.
How did he lose them? In Australia, you can lose anything to any.
Well, I do know he was working on a farm as a kid, so maybe it has something to do with that. Yeah. That was just like came as a shock to me this week. Because how do you not notice that?
I know when you sent that text, I then went through his entire Instagram profile, just trying to find it. But then he like posts too many reels that it's like I can't zoom in on a reel. Let's post.
Sure.
I will say, folks, let's start posting some more still photos.
Pivoting from video to still.
Yeah, back to still.
Okay, let's pivot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the flapper party.
The last moment, the talked about moment.
Oh, what's the talked about moment?
Tom Schwartz we're trying to like say that he's propositioning Katie, but he just wants to lay in bed and like get junk food and be on their phones together. The chemistry between these two,
that's electric,
should be studied.
Yeah. There were other moments. There were other like conversations on the roof too. I'm like, no.
It's the Sheena and Tom Sandoval moment at the end.
Yeah.
That's when Sheena starts to actually make sense and talk about Ariana's feelings and how Tom should maybe like.
Oh yes, she was coaching him.
Yes,
on how to behave.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, San Francisco is such an interesting spot whenever we're there with like reality stars.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
When we were there with Atlanta, it was interesting.
That was a mismatch for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we go to the Valley?
Let's go to the Valley.
Or like the attempted or the attempted assassination of Kristen Doty.
Oh my God. When they're at the end of this dinner, they're like, okay, are we ready to come to an agreement that we will not hang out with Kristen Doty in a group any longer? And it's like very much, we don't want her to be on this show anymore.
But it's like the reason you're on this show
Is her
and Jax.
Yeah. Kristen. I mean, to jump to the end real quick, while we're on the topic of Kristen, like the frustration of Luke being like, we can't keep doing this where you like mess up some words and then everyone's going to be pissed at you. And she's like, yeah, words are hard.
Yeah. I mean, she's right.
Dang, she spilled.
I will say, I do think with Luke, I think it's interesting seeing him in settings, like in the guys' night settings, because it does feel like he is a soldier for Kristen out of those settings. But then he gets in those guys' night settings, and there's something about like Jax and that other guy who like when they're bowling, not Jesse.
Jason.
Yeah, when they're bowling and like they're like getting under like Luke's brain and like convincing him about things, which like no one's right in this situation here. Like we're dealing with a bunch of like unwell people. Is there one voice of reason on this show?
I guess like Nia and Danny.
Not Danny though.
Why?
Something sinister.
No.
Yeah.
He's a sweetie pie.
He wants to move to the place with
Santa Clarita.
Yeah, the Drew Barrymore show.
Where they like drink blood or something?
Yeah. You want to bring your wife who's in postpartum like an hour outside of the city?
That's all right.
I don't know.
I mean, like, why? What's wrong with moving there?
Because she wants to be in the city. Like, she's going through a hard time. And like, she wants to like be in a city she's familiar with. And like, and I get that.
Well, it sounds like maybe the hard time might be due to the, like their home being small as well. And they want a bigger home.
It's also postpartum.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. So I don't know. There's something, I don't know, with him.
No, I enjoy him. There's a lot of Jackson Brittany this episode.
I know. Where do you want to start with them?
Oh, I guess the only other thing with Kristen, though, is, like, as wrong as she is, like, she's also right, because it's like, they are going to split, they've split up, like.
Yeah.
So it's like, but she's also wrong, too.
To me, we don't know if she's completely wrong yet, though. She is wrong about like what Jesse apparently said, but we don't know yet if she's wrong about what Michelle,
the text messages.
Text messages.
Yeah. No, I mean she's just wrong of being like such a antagonist.
I know, but to me, Jesse and Michelle rounding the wagons around their relationship in such like a fake way. I'm like, y'all are telling on yourselves.
Oh, I'm remembering now that like miserable conversation when like she went and got smoothies.
Yeah.
Love was never winning less.
Her walking in, explaining, oh, I just went for a hike and then I got smoothies. Like,
yeah,
he didn't know about that before you left the house? Like, what?
I don't know. Jackson Brittany. We're doing the tantric sex workshop.
And we're calling it tantric sex?
Which it's kind of like tomato.
Todrick Hall?
It's tantric sex.
Is this how you call Mario?
Yeah, Mario.
Yeah.
Why not? And then date night. Now, I don't really get this trend. We saw it on Beverly Hills. We're seeing it Jackson, Brittany.
Hotel room
and like eating in the room. To me, it's like a little skeeve. Like, I want to go, let's go to like a fancy restaurant instead.
Yeah, especially like we're quote unquote cooking in the room they alluded to.
But like he's cooking like somewhere else and bringing it in.
It's too much smell in a hotel room. And that evokes sadness that should only be when I'm on a work trip eating a chicken finger
In
the
food bed.
extra bed, in the food bed.
Not in sleep bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Brennan's food bed. Should be studied.
I feel like a lot of people do that.
Do food bed. Okay.
Yeah. So the other thing is, are we back at the Mondrian for this?
Oh, I wonder.
I think I recognize the hallway.
Oh, wow. If those halls could talk.
Like the fact that the Mondrian, who is the manager, and why are they giving the Vanderpump Rules and the Valley cast all of this leeway to have all these like messy things happen there?
Good to get feet in the door.
Feet in the door, yeah. It's just like it's such an interesting business model, but
Yeah. So the conversation with like Jackson, Brittany, and like the kids and the work and the this and the that, it's kind of just like, what are we talking about here?
well, to me, it's kind of obvious he does not want to be in this relationship anymore.
Yeah.
So he's making excuses for not wanting to focus on having another kid by focusing on his new baby, which is Jax's.
Yeah, Jax Jr.
Yeah. But it's like, if I'm Brittany and I want to have another kid, it's like the clock's ticking.
Yeah.
And I want a baby who is around the same age as my existing baby.
Yeah.
Also, I'm a woman, and we know what happens
Yeah.
with Mother Nature.
Mother Nature.
So we got to get going.
The birds and the bees and the
Yeah.
1, 2, 3s. Yeah. I did enjoy Janet and Jason watching Cruise during date night.
Yeah, that was fun. Janet, though, she is, I think...
She's a sneaky girl.
She is the Jax of...
Yeah.
She's the female Jax.
She is a feeling.
She enjoys the goss as the rest of us.
Yeah. She just misses the gossip.
I know. Like Jill Zarin.
I know.
Speaking of which, the GOAT premieres soon.
Oh, featuring Kristen Doute and Jill Zarin.
Yeah, and Reza.
And Reza. When?
And Alyssa Edwards.
When?
Soon, they're all on their press tours now.
I fear it's going to flop.
Yeah, I'll still watch.
I want to at least watch premiere.
I have more interest in those 4 people than I did for like House of Villains.
I know, but like, watched like one of them is. I don't know if they're doing eliminations or not, but like watch one of them's out first. They always like fuck it up. Like keep legends in no matter what. Rig the game. I don't care. Rigor Morris.
Jill was really in the trailer a lot, which like Jill doesn't get a lot of trailer inclusion these days as a person. So we'll see. What else did I want to say about the Valley before we go? Jackson Brittany at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Oh.
The fact that they got the Ariana Lisa Vanderpump
Lala.
seats
Yeah.
at the Daily Mail table.
Yeah.
And like, wouldn't you like pick someone else if you're like Daily Mail? Like, who's like a hotter reality star than these two?
Well, I guess like you got to go by like what's airing right now or something.
I guess.
Yeah. I didn't love when Nia and Danny and Michelle and Jesse went on the double date, and like Jesse and Michelle are like talking all the bullshit, and Nia's like, I don't want to talk about this. I'm going through real shit.
I know. And then like she was breaking down, and then the men just kept on talking like side by side. It's like, what's happening? Why are we like not all wraps like listening to her?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like when I say that guy's not a...
No, I think that was just like a moment. I think he's good otherwise. Get out of here. Stop. Love was winning. Well, we'll see. They have a reunion. We'll see if like...
they're going to like premiere Santa Clarita starring the 2 of them.
Okay. Why don't we turn our attention
Sure.
to the greatest show that ever showed?
Yeah. Yeah. Move over like, what's like a well-regarded show? Like
Sopranos.
Yeah, Sopranos. Move over MASH.
The Wire.
Yeah.
SummerHouse.
I know SummerHouse, the best show on television.
Okay, so we didn't talk about last week's episode, obviously. And in a way, what a perfect pairing these two are. Because we had Sharon and Lou and Carl closing out that episode last week, and then the fallout here.
I know.
I do want to quickly say one thing that came to my attention recently.
Okay.
Alien Party weekend, Jesse Solomon was there the night before, like on Friday when they all went out to the club.
Yeah.
There's pictures of him there at the club that night.
Classic SummerHouse editing.
Lies.
Yeah.
So I think like there's maybe speculation online of like, is there a maximum number of people that are allowed to like sleep in the house? Because they've been having guests and stuff.
Because Andrea was there.
Andrea was there.
Yeah.
So I wonder if...
Well,
like,
is it like the zoning thing? Remember the zoning thing from last year?
Like the wall, we had walls and walls had to be taken down. Like I wonder if that has something to do with it. I wonder. Just I'm like putting these questions out there. I don't have the answer, unfortunately.
Okay. Thanks for that little tidbit.
Okay. Oof, what? This was a historic episode of television.
It was like good from top to bottom.
From tip to tail.
Tip to tail.
We're
in the city first.
We're in the city first for a while. We've got Carl and Lindsay having an apartment conversation.
Yeah, just like on their little like couch, which looked comfortable.
And I gotta say, like, this is fascinating. Like, this is shit I love of like conversations being had because of the fact that stuff is filmed.
I know.
And like that's where we land eventually. But like you could see Carl freaking out of like, what the fuck am I gonna say?
I know.
And he keeps saying like this line, like, I'm gonna do whatever I want. And she's like, what are you talking about?
When I'm looking at Carl and Lindsay in this episode, I keep on coming back to, you know, that moment in Family Stone where Luke Wilson says, You don't love her. And like
That's what you're thinking?
And SJP is like just off, she's like just to the side. You don't love her. So who's gonna be the one who swoops in to take Lindsay's hands?
I don't think present day. I think she's like just Hub House Nashvilleing right now.
I know. I was listening to Two T's in a Pod. They just like unleashed this new thing called the Twat Seat.
Okay.
And they had Kyle Cook in the Twat Seat. And Tamara was like, I want Jesse Solomon to be with Lindsay Humber.
Oh. I don't.
Well, I mean, Tamara doesn't know anything.
Yeah. She's just like seen one episode.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We were with
Paige and
Craig in the sun.
And they're having a very reasonable conversation.
An adult conversation.
Yeah. But like we were doing the math, and like if you were like, oh well, like he still has time for like 40, blah blah blah. But okay, he's 35.
And he said he wants a kid by 40.
And he wants a kid by 40. But theoretically, if they're gonna like space it all out, you gotta get engaged, then get married, then try for the kid and hope there's not issues.
Or they could do the Allison Roman route.
Oh, get engaged and then get married like in short succession.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, who knows what they'll do? You could also have an untraditional relationship and try for a kid before the marriage.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Why not?
But like, I don't think a Bapadoo is going to be untraditional.
I know, but like you're married in the eyes of like the Lord, like Bravo.
The Lord Bravo. Have a Lou. Well, Lou, would you marry them?
I bet Lou would marry them.
I bet Lou would marry them too.
I think Lou's. I don't trust him.
You're not looking for Lou's approval.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Are you looking for Carolyn? No, not Carolyn. Carolyn's the stepmom. Are you looking for Sharon's approval?
No.
No.
I used to be looking for approval.
I never was.
The whole Radke clan really like lost my.
There's something
sour there.
Something smelly.
Yeah. I used to be really into that whole group of people, but like after this.
The bridal shower, which I remember where I was. Not not like really, but like I remember like the photos dropping and being like,
Sure, yeah.
oh my God.
Well, because we were like, oh, like Batula's here.
Batula's
like
here, Sierra's
Danielle's
here.
Sierra's here.
The girls are all back.
Yeah.
And we learned Paige was invited, but did not go because she was not invited to the wedding.
Yeah, which normal response.
Yeah. But like, remember seeing this and being like, okay, like we're almost there.
Yeah.
And then mere weeks later, we were blindsided. Now, I'm not sure I could say that Lindsay or the rest of the cast can say the same.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the train maybe like is on one track right now, like not both of the tracks. It's coming off the tracks.
I mean, the bridal shower and just the conversations that were had between Lindsay and Sharon, I could not. First of all, Lindsay wasn't like, she was sitting in between Carolyn, her stepmom, who I think is a newer character.
Yeah.
I feel like we keep on like bringing out these new characters from Lindsay's home life. We used to only be with the aunt, but now we've got others.
Where's Rhonda?
Yeah. And then
Well, she's like deep in conversation with her, and like Carl's mom is just like
sitting there.
making weird faces and looking at the camera.
Yeah, but like, so this is my journey between like this whole bridal party, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm like, Lindsay, like Carl's mom's right there. Include her in the conversation. Like, show some warmth, yada, yada, yada. Like, do something.
Yeah.
And then once they stand up and are like talking, you realize that Sharon is sus.
The way that she kept like hugging instead of conversing.
Yeah, it's Sharon. It's like, it's not Sunday yet. We're not supposed to be hugging yet.
Yeah, we will hug again.
Teresa's
soon.
not on our screens yet.
It is, folks. It's time to hug again. I love like Jersey. Like, I mean, who knows what with Jersey, but like, I love this new phase of me. Like, I'm going in ready to love Teresa every season, and then I'll just like wait for her to let me down.
Yeah, though this season,
Maybe she'll carry it to the finish line.
hopefully.
I
mean, like, she's good enough for Taylor Swift.
She's good enough for Taylor Swift. She's good enough for Jackie present day.
Yeah.
So it survived the whole season.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, Sharon's hugging.
We will hug again.
And the way Lindsay was making eye contact with the camera.
It felt like, and this is not a show I've ever seen more than a few clips online.
The Office.
Oh, I was going to say like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, okay. Similar vibes though, like
We're looking at the camera.
mockumentaries. Is Curbed a mockumentary?
I don't think it's mock.
Okay.
It's just like, I think it just plays by its own rules.
Okay, but like famously, like Jim Halpert, John Krasinski on The Office, like looks at the camera a lot.
Oh, I think they do that on Abbott too.
Yeah. What's his name?
They're always looking.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's it for like city scenes.
Yeah. Let's go back to the Hamps.
Let's go to the Hamps. Gabby's in charge of
Providing food.
and entertainment. And I feel in my soul this is the first time the entire cast is here.
That sounds right.
And we're almost like done with the season.
Yeah. So we're arriving. Danielle's, they always show. Wait, what? Go.
Sharon at the bridal shower, name dropping Workus.
Yes, she said that Workus said that she would make a good mother-in-law. And then we get a whole Workus flashback. That is when I was like, Sharon.
It's kind of crazy, like, that was put in, because Workus has kind of been erased from the canon almost.
But I think it was put in to show how unwell that is to mention. And then it's like Sharon and Lou are going beyond being parents on the show, and they are playing the TV show.
Oh, they're trying to hold a rosé bottle.
Yeah, I mean, like, the fact that, like, Lou was a plant, to say what he said, allegedly.
Yeah.
And then Sharon's mentioning a Workus. How many seasons after a Workus was ever been on our TV?
Yeah.
When was the last time a Workus was on our TV? 2017, 2018?
Well, I do feel like I recall a watermelon flashback maybe this season, if not last season, but like it's usually the watermelon at most.
Sure, yeah. But like when truly was the last time that they were actually like on the cast?
Yeah, a very long time. Yeah. Okay. So we're all together, the gang's all here. There's a lot of like we were joking while watching, people are trying to earn bonuses this episode. We got Lindsay in conversation with West, Gabby, Danielle, talking about whether or not like he's texting girl, like
West.
Are you like talking to people? Are you not talking? Like blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And like the way he said it was like very like, oh well, like we're not exclusive.
And he was like,
so I'm flirty with people.
He's like, yeah. He said something along the lines of like, my base level like talking to people is flirty. So
yeah.
Which, like, might be an excuse. I don't know. Am I making excuses for West at this point? Yes.
Because he's a king? Yeah, maybe.
But I mean, the way that translated later, the way Lindsay said it to Amanda and Paige
was like, oh, he told us he's texting girls. Like, as if, like, he's like on his phone, like.
And then Amanda, who I will say, Amanda Batula, MVP of this episode.
Oh, my God.
Across the board.
Across the board.
She retranslated what Lindsay said back to like West's language,
even though she wasn't there.
Somehow, like blonde share a brain.
Blonde share a brain. Bet it all on them.
Yeah,
and was like, oh well, like they're not really together, so he's probably just leaving the door open.
Yeah, and they were also talking about how Sierra's like saying that she's not sure about West, but then like the moment they're together, she's like all over him, that type of thing.
I gotta say, the energy was a little weird. Like. She came in so hot when they arrived. When she arrived with Paige.
Yeah, and she was like, pick me up, and then she was like sitting on his lap.
Yeah, like she was acting like girlfriend.
Yeah,
but like I think we're like jumping ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we got that, and then we have to all go. We're all getting ready for this dinner, and. So Lindsay has a conversation with Paige and Amanda as well about being awkward with Sharon at the bridal shower.
Yeah, and Lindsay talks in that conversation about the fact that because she doesn't have a relationship with her like biological mom, she kind of felt like the thing with Sharon was like a rejection of like a new mother.
Oh my God.
Which like I get.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like a bad situation.
Yeah. And for like in the scope of the season, like it's ups and downs with like all these people, but especially with like Lindsay and Carl. But this episode for Lindsay, despite her like twisting the like words of like West, which doesn't matter in the conversation.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm proud of you, Lindsay, this episode.
She is digesting the information and trying to just make it through.
Yeah. So Carl goes up and is talking to Kyle in bed. Not in bed, but like on the bed while they're getting ready. And then another MVP, Miss Amanda Batula, comes in looking for her shoes.
And then doesn't leave.
And then plops herself down.
She could smell something was cooking.
And they get to talking. And Carl starts to... Well, she already knows, but Carl starts to talk more about the Sharon and Lou thing. And what was the exact wording that Batula used?
Oh my God.
Did you have it written down?
And hold on. I think okay. Oh my God. Isn't she gonna see this?
Yeah. And then the way that like the camera pans to the cameraman and the producer standing behind the cameraman in the corner. was
oh my God.
chef's kiss.
And like Carl's like pointing to everyone and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, whenever we go outside, I'm trying to decipher what this meal is. Because we've got this big bowl.
Yeah.
Is it full of like seafood and other bits and bobs?
That I couldn't figure out. I noticed like there's a bunch of steak.
There's steak, but there was also like maybe like crab or lobster in there.
In the bowl, yeah. And then there was also like, it looked like some sort of whitefish on plates as well.
Yeah. But like they keep on going to that bowl and like scooping out.
Yeah, I couldn't make sense of that. But it was interesting that they all like are sitting there eating and they're not like, hey guys, like, are you guys coming? Blah, blah, blah.
So let's pivot for a second because I want to talk about them sitting there and Jesse's on the floor here.
Yeah.
First of all, we're talking earlier in the episode about Jesse going in for his 5-year checkup, which will be, I think, a plot point maybe next week or the week after.
Yeah.
But Jesse's kind of talking, they're like grilling him about like his dating life.
Yeah.
And he's basically saying like, oh, I went on 2 dates this week. It didn't really hit. And then they're like, oh, so like, what's your like dating style?
Yeah.
And they're like getting at this thing where like they're trying to pin him down on like being a fuckboy by saying, oh, so you like go on dates during the week, but on the weekends you like go out and like party? And he says to me what sounded actually seemingly normal for somebody his age.
Yeah.
Yeah, like on weekdays I go on dates and on weekends I like find leads for dates. And then like Sierra's like, oh, you're a trash bag and I would never introduce you to anybody I know. It almost felt like she knew about like the West conversations weirdly, but like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like who cares what he's doing? Like, he's not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go back inside.
Okay.
So we're like wrapping up on the bed.
And then Carl shook.
Yes.
And they all go out to dinner and like he can't even sit down and eat because he's freaking out.
Yeah, because Amanda like coaches him. She's like, I'm a reality television professional. I have been through this. My family was about to see that Carl was cheating on me, so I had to tell them before they found out on television. And so here is your mission, and this is what you have to do.
And saying like, oh, I would have never told my parents that he cheated on me if not for it being on the show.
Yeah. Which I think's normal.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like, okay, my perspective isn't like great because like I don't think I have anything that like I would need to go and complain to my parents about my husband.
Mm-hmm.
But like my POV when it comes to stuff like that is like, that's Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Once you open it, like you can't close it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's in their head forever.
Yeah. The only benefit of any doubt I'm going to give Carl here is this. I think he and his mom became much closer after the death of his brother.
Yeah.
And so I feel like he leans on her more than he probably did a few years ago.
Sure.
And maybe this is how it's like coming out.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I feel like he's in this committed relationship with Lindsay where if they're headed towards marriage, then that transfers when you're in a relationship with like that transfers to that person being your like vault or whatever, right?
Yeah. Like Lindsay's supposed to be the one that like he's telling everything to.
Yeah. But like I'm trying to like just say that I think there might be a reason for why he has this relationship with his mom.
I see it. So then Lindsay's like, well, I can't sit here and have dinner now that you've like told me we need to talk.
Which is so me. I'm like, if you're going to like leave a little breadcrumb and then expect me to sit here and like power through it.
I mean, this isn't even like one for one, but like I hate when someone's like, oh, I got to tell you about this or let's tell like, oh, I got to tell you about something later or something.
It's like fucking tell me
stop.
now or
like,
shut your trap.
Yeah, don't tell me anything until it's time to tell me.
Yeah, because I'm going to want to know.
Yeah.
If you text me like, oh, we have to talk, later, I'm going to be like, no, I'm going to be blowing up your phone until you fucking tell me. It's so stupid.
Okay. So then they go in there. It was the kids outside, like trying to figure out what's going on. Like Danielle's face as they're walking off, she's like, "What?" And then when Amanda's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go over there," and they thought she meant like follow them,
No.
but she meant like sit next to Paige.
Yeah. And then fucking Gabby is the hub whisperer and like knows how
She moves.
Which
Which is funny because like Gabby met her last summer.
I know, but I do think they like became, especially in the
close.
absence of Danielle.
Yeah, she was like soldier number 1 and 2.
Like, did you watch them on Watch What Happens Live when they were together, Gabby and Hub?
Did. Yes, that was last week. Yeah.
It was like Andy would ask a question to Hub, and sometimes Gabby would step in to answer
Speak
for
on
Hub.
behalf. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you do got to give it to Hub. Like Hub didn't explode.
Yeah.
Like if I was her, I would have like probably lost my mind.
Especially because Carl was acting in a way that was so, I can't really like find the words for like, I'm not saying he was like trying to get her to explode, but he was just like only taking his own feelings into account when he was talking to the person whose feelings should be hurt.
Yeah. Ooh, man.
Yeah, this episode really like
One for the books.
So good. Best show on television.
Best show on television.
I mean, if we're not trying to get an Emmy nomination for this, what are we doing?
But like, you know, I was thinking about the fact that while I like want them to succeed, it's like better that SummerHouse is not like Vanderpump Rules level like household names, because like it makes them more on our planet.
Yeah.
Than if they're like superstars.
Sure. Yeah. Also, Kyle was kind of touching on this on
please
the
go
twat
on.
seat or whatever.
Yeah.
But he was like also saying because we came into the show as like working professionals who like literally like were working and then working hard than playing hard.
Yeah.
That's what set the show off differently than any other of the reality shows. Because it wasn't just a bunch of like dummies just like being on camera.
I think I gotta sit for this one.
It's pretty good.
For this twat. they're silly.
They really are.
Okay. A freak of the week and the one true queen.
Okay. Do you want to go for freak?
Okay, a freak of the week. Late breaking news. SummerHouse Martha reunion. I begged, I pleaded. Please don't put us in the clubhouse.
Begged earlier this episode.
Begged earlier this episode. Lo and behold,
we're in the clubhouse.
But
I mean, at least we're getting something.
Something, which leads us to Freak of the Week Part 2. Duty and Luke break on their podcast. TheValley is 100% not getting a reunion.
Which is so stupid.
Especially, like, I don't know how the season ends, but so much has transpired since then.
I know. And, like, they've got such good ratings for a fledgling Bravo series.
Yeah.
That's, like, not a Housewives especially.
And they were even saying, we don't know if we're going to be coming back for another season.
It's like, come on.
What are we doing?
Girl.
I wonder, is that happening because of what we talked about earlier with Pump on Pause? I wonder if like Pump on Pause is like, oh, okay. Do we want to refresh Pump and move the kids to Valley? So that's why we don't want to decide what we're doing with Valley yet. I think that's something there.
Yeah, maybe also like with Beverly Hills just starting to film, Evolution is the same production company.
Yeah.
So like there's that added in the mix.
We're smart. I think those are two very good things that people are not talking about.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anyone peep about either idea.
Yeah. So we'll see. There's also like Beverly Hills rumors that we're not going to say, but I'm looking at one of the people who's rumored, and I'm like, she might be a little too accomplished for Housewives, but we'll see.
Okay, our one true queen. You brought this to my front door.
Okay, it's one Kim D.
Your good friend Kimberly D.
Kim D finally got her wish, and she
A birthday wish.
She got her birthday wish, happy birthday, and she sat down with one Teresa for a birthday lunch.
This is matriarch to matriarch.
Matriarch to matriarch. They had made up recently, like between like their managers or whatever, and I think they went to like Rails for their like first reunion.
Where else?
But they sat matriarch to matriarch for a little birthday get together. Teresa left some hearts under the photo, but more importantly, Jacqueline Larita said,
not to be confused with Jacqueline Larito.
Shut up. Said, this makes me happy.
It makes me happy too.
Me too.
Well, did Kim have a caption?
She said, thank you, Teresa Giudice, for my birthday lunch.
Oh, okay.
And she posted a photo of the two of them, and then posted, the second photo was from the season 3 Posh fashion show.
Yeah.
Just a screenshot of like her saying whatever it's done to Teresa.
Another fun fact about that post is like most of the girls, when they post something like this, right? Mm-hmm. They like let it just speak for itself. Kimberly D is responding to every comment on the post.
Of course. Like we know, Kimberly D is very accessible. I'm not saying that you could call Posh.
Okay. Wow. We do have a pre-show that's great this week, and we have a bonus episode. We are continuing the iconic moment journey with another. It started at 15 iconic moments, but then we just like couldn't stop ourselves and threw in a few more.
We kept on going and going and going. There's some like duds, but there's some icons a part of this group.
There's toughies, there's duds. I believe there's a Zia Melissa in there.
Yeah.
To keep the Jersey train going.
I think a Christy Rice is in there.
Christy Rice is in there.
More importantly.
So head on over to comethroughqueen.com for links to Patreon and links to everything else. And just like, comment, subscribe, heart, share, retweet.
Love us, please retweet.
We'll see you next week. Bye.